All right. What a day, huh? Holy smokes, what year is it? Still 2016? Oh my gosh, the yen is strong. mm, no, I'm not. Yep. Right, this way you have to stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. All right. So, hey, in all seriousness, it is what? A Wednesday? Wednesday, December 21st, 2016. It's your daily Forex trading strategy session brought to you by Forex.Today. With that in mind, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. We're an ECN. We also offer a fixed or variable spread model for you, either way. We're an excellent broker, low fees, fast execution. Give us a try. Go to TradersWay.com and open up a demo account and get to know our back office. Super easy. The process is super fast, and we have super awesome, beautiful, kind-hearted, talented support staff as well. I do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday, here at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street. But at FX Street, you have to pay money, honey. You want to play with the Wayne, you got to pay. Huh? Cool. I'm also Forex Speaker of the Year. Great. Nice. No, hey, I shouldn't. I mean, that's a huge honor. So thank you for your loyalty and all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be a good day without the happy music of Forex.Today's theme song. Let's get it going, huh? Thanks for being on my team. Life is beautiful. Oh. Life is great. Life is grand. Life is good. Life is beautiful. Oh. Yeah, that was harmony. Hey, 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 hey. So let me get to the charts. Everybody see charts okay? Wonderful. So we talked about yesterday about using support and resistance on a 1 minute chart. And if you did that, you should be fine. And that people chasing the 1 minute chart, chasing price around, that's where they say it's all noise because they really don't know what they're doing with their trades, right? Remember that theme? And I guess I'm trying to fit all this in. So, okay, I guess I got to move this over. Oh, okay. So here's yesterday's high. I forget what, I think this was a pivot point or something, right? So let's go back up. There's yesterday's high on the London Open. Look at today's high on the Asian Open, really. I mean, Tokyo Open, right? And here's where we were yesterday. This was a buy zone at that time. This was a sell zone at that time. And if all you did was buy at support or sell at resistance, you'd be fine. I think if I remember the fibs properly yesterday, I believe we had another Fibonacci zone at 8150 and some, right? Didn't we say this would be a sell zone if you were a bear? And up here was a sell zone, right? Is that about right? I mean, if I'm backfilling, you let me know. Oh, Wayne, that's not what you said. Call it. Call it. The idea is if you're a bull, you're buying at support. Watch this. You ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh. Huh? Hey, do we have sound? Yes. So that's what went down yesterday, right? If you're a bull, you buy at support, and that's it. And if you're a bear, you sell at resistance, and that's it. And all you have to do is identify the support and resistance levels on the higher time frames, though, right? That didn't work. Right? And that's not working out. Oh, I guess I got to do this thing in the bobber. Right? So all you have to do is pick your lines, right? And in my humble opinion, if that's all you did was identify support and resistance on higher time frames and traded your bias, regardless of whether it was right or wrong, I think you would have made money. At the very worst, you broke even. Okay. Now the Waynester, the Waynmeister, Waynorama, Wayne the Pain, he made this weird prediction that even though the yen pairs have been up for 7 weeks in a row and everyone was filthy, stinking rich in profits, this idiot Wayne Meister comes out on Friday and says it's all going to come crashing down. What a horrible messenger, huh? Honey, who was that at the door? Oh, it's the pip plague. The Grim Reaper of pips, huh? Standing there. It's the Grim Reaper of pips. He's come to take away all their profit before the end of the year. Right? So, but what if you just, traded this on an impossible, it's only noise, impossible to trade 1 minute chart, having know this, right? Yeah, RIP profits, right? Well, look, I told you so. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I told you so. All right? Told you it'd go up, and I told you it'd come down months in advance. So, anyways, here we are in this move. And if you recall, I have this whole move to the left, which you can't see, fibbed down. Hua? Right? It's fibbed down, meaning we have plans on the table for this to drop farther or further. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. If it's potato in one place and potato in another place, do you know what it is in Georgia, where I live? No, that's English or something. No, taters. Potato, potato. Yeah, taters. It's like tomato. Would you like some tomatoes on your salad? Yeah, peanuts. Spuds. Yeah. So anyway, so look, you stick to your guns because you have alpha, right? Didn't I say have a bias, trade your bias, stick to your plan, even on a pathetic, impossible to trade 1 minute chart that's nothing but noise, right? Look at this stuff, guys. Down, 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 up, up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. Right? Down, 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 up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. And what is this green thing down here? Why did we stop here? What's this green thing? It's not support for bulls, but it's not really. It's not really. I know what you're saying, but I'm going to clarify. We have to be precise in our communication. It's not support for bulls. It's target for bear. Yes. It might seem the same, but it is different. Okay. I don't think in my 10 or 12 years of coaching that I've ever said that that was a buy zone. What do I call it? Like, I made this up, by the way. I made it up. It's in my book. I made it up. Wrote the book 8 years ago, so I must have made it up. Yeah, close to 10 years ago. Back when I was the only one with pivots, because I remember I had to have it custom programmed into the deal book, not even the deal book 360. It was the deal book 2, and I had to have it custom coded. So I know it's old, and I made it up. I said this area is green, first of all, because I think it's going to go up, not down, right? And no one ever taught me that. There was never like an M1 area. Everyone talked about S2. So just through observation, I made up the M1 idea. But also I called it the pivot profit zone. That's where people take profit. Not get in, but where they get out. Right? Okay? So that's why I call it that. So it's just, maybe it's just a mental thing, but it'll show you. I mean, one of the things that we need to decide, how about this? One of the things that we always need to decide as traders is how long to hold the position. How aggressive do we need to be when we get into the position, right? And all these things, I think, even though a bounce is a bounce, maybe, right, on the chart. So whether it goes up here, does it mean it's bullish? Not necessarily. So we have to make a decision, and that's how I do it in my mind anyways. Maybe it's all nonsense, but in my mind, having it move up here first is not bullish. It only proves the bears see the same place I see. On the second side of it, if you got a double bottom and then it starts to creep back up, then I say it's a reversal pattern at support, and the bulls will see the vulnerability in the market and then probably get in, right? And even then, I'll probably even want to see a higher high and higher low 1, 2, 3 off the double bottom at support, right? Because then I know I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on, right? So generally, just because it bounces on this first touch, just tells me people are taking profit. Okay. Okay. But I think that was a wicked awesome lesson yesterday. And it was great because I drew that 1 minute support for you, and it came down and touched this gray zone, and immediately went up right here. We did this yesterday. We drew this buy zone, we drew this sell zone, and went up to the sell zone, dropped all the way, went back to our buy zone, and then just straight up like a rocket ship on the New York Open, right? Cool, right? Because remember, this is the stock market open here. This bigger move, that's the stock market open. Did it make a higher high? Oh, yeah. What do you do when it makes a higher high? Drag the old resistance over and make it support. So on a higher time frame, right? On a higher time frame, let me draw the complicated pattern which occurred. I know it's complicated. Hang on. Wait for it. Yeah, there it is. That's it. That's all that happened. Right? Bounce off support, 50% retracement to the 150 extension into our gray zone, which we identified yesterday. Right? That's yesterday's high. And what happened to the world? What happened to the world when they saw we were back up at resistance at this previous high? Oh, no, you didn't. Right? That's what the world said. Hey, Tony, look at the Kiwi yen. It's back at the resistance, huh? Forget about it. Right? Dump it. It's one of these things. Nobody's buying it, bro. Why would anybody buy it? I've spent hours and hours and hours telling you why they wouldn't buy it. Amateurs just keep getting crushed on this, right? right? What does an amateur do? They feel like the last 7 weeks that they finally got Forex down. They finally figured it out. They've made their first 1,000 pip month, and they're God's gift to the world, right? We've all been there, right? Have you ever laid in bed at night spending your money in your brain, all the future profits you're going to make? Right? You finally got it. You finally break free. This is it. Man, you've just been crushing it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's almost easy. How many people have been there? Come on now. It's almost easy. And you're like, I am crushing it. I totally get it now. I've figured it out. And it turns out you were buying in an uptrend. Genius, genius, genius. And then what happens when it reverses? You keep buying in a downtrend. And you're like, WTF? Right? Yeah, I mean, come on. If you haven't been there, then you've never tasted success. Right? Which is, I guess, even a more bitter thing. To have lost money in the last 7 weeks, then you really need, we need to fix some things. Like, if you didn't make money in the last 7 weeks, wow. I mean, like, we need some serious, there's something broken. I mean, right? There's something broken. And then the flip side of that is you probably made a lot of pips compared to what you normally do in the last few weeks. And what I've been telling you, as you've been doing it, right, almost on a daily basis, that it's not you. I'm doing well, it's not me. What is it? Remember our alpha beta conversations? Right? It's the market. And this is part of the staying small, staying focused. You know, a dummy would start tripling their leverage right now to make a bunch of money. And of course, it all evaporates, right? So it's always a test to stay small and stay humble. And if you made a lot of money, if you're doing your job, it has nothing to do with you. That's what I mean about staying small and humble. And of course, small meaning as your account size grows, you should be actually reducing your leverage. Right? Imagine you had a $10 million trading account. Would you really be putting in, $1 billion lot sizes? Right? I mean, can you imagine you'd outgrow your broker, right? So you'd have to be dealing with a direct bank, right? That a Fed broker, right? And you call up who's your bank? Who would be your broker at that point? Who would you pick? You're doing $1 billion lot sizes, right? You call up what, UBS? Right? UBS is your bank, or yeah, you'd be too big to trade on a platform, so you'd look at your charts. You call up UBS. Yeah, I'd like you to put $1 billion on Euro USD, and they're like, what? You only have $10 million. Like, $10 million is a lot of money. They're like, no, it's not. Right? Those guys over there, they make $10 million in a minute. Like, there's no way you can put $1 billion down on this trade. Really? Right? I don't get 5,000 to 1 leverage on my, $10 million, right? So, I mean, it's just what I'm trying to say is, very often when you look at an amateur's trading, is they're just way ridiculously over leveraged. But you have to, because 100 pips should be worth more than $5, right? But I'm just putting it all into perspective when it comes to lot size versus account size, which is how I define leverage, right? I don't care what you're 500 to 1, 200 to 1, 100 to 1. It always comes down to how much you're risking per your account size, right? So, but all these things matter psychologically. And one of them is that, when you do good, it's because of you. No. No, it's not because of you. If you lose money, it's because of you. But you cannot, and this is what I said on Friday on that big interview, I can't influence where this goes. I mean, I can add more money. Okay, I can add another trade, but you know, what, add another $100,000? I mean, it wouldn't do anything. It doesn't make a difference, right? So all I'm a cork in the river of Forex, right? You need a lot of corks to stop the river. More corks, right? I ain't that big of a cork. Well, so Ryan, it's not really like that's not how I'm determining it. So the smallest lot size you could possibly get. So I used to have a rule of thumb, right? Like a mini lot for every $1 million kind of thing. And people are like flabbergasted. What? A mini lot per million? I'm doing mini lots and I have $1,000. Well, then you're 1,000 times more leveraged than me. Who's going to win on the long run? Right? And of course, my little pathetic little trades might give me the opportunity to have more trades. And that reduces the risk, that reduces volatility in the portfolio, gives me diversification. And you make 3 trades a day, and I might have 300 trades open. You know what I mean? So I can add to it, right? That kind of stuff. Ryan says, do some people do 8-pip scalping? Well, first of all, on big trades like that, you do have to do it over a phone, right? Even pathetic little trades like 10 million. 10 million, right? Not 10,000, that's a mini lot. 100,000 is a standard lot, right? A million, right? And then they have big lots, right? 10 million. No, but it's not a joke. No, it's not a joke. But imagine just little things now, like let's say you got a trade going and you lock in a small profit, like I tell you to do with minimal acceptable performance, right? Well, what's 15 pips on $1 billion trade? You're like, oh man, right? The trade totally collapsed for me, didn't work, but made $15 million. You know what I mean? Oh well. Okay. Well, you wouldn't have to close the position, right, Ryan? You would have a stop, right? So you pick it up, and you're just like, yeah, drop it down here, stop there, target there, and then it goes, 10 seconds later or something, you get a confirmation. Great, right? And you're set. But you have a trade plan, right? You're not. I mean, how many times? Okay, we're going back to the Q&A part, right? How many times have you like put a trade in and 10 seconds later you regret it? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna move that. Oh, I'm gonna move that stop. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just clear. It shows clear that you didn't sit down for 2 hours and did a plan, right? You're like, boom, and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's just, I mean, it's too easy, right? You know what I mean? Hey, K-Man. Yeah, at least twice, right? So, what if, you, what if you practice trading that way, for example, right? Like Daniel and who else? Adams in the room. I taught them how to trade like that, in fact. And it changes things. It's an interesting kind of thing to have to wait for confirmation from your broker, or even just to type it in, right? Just typing it in. Sell Euro USD at 104.50. Stop loss at 1.053. 25. Limit at 1025.00. Execute. Wait. Confirmation. Whew. Seems like forever, right? That's how you trade on a dealing desk. Right? You can't just say, "Oh, look at that! Oh, I shouldn't have done that." Sometimes it's too easy, right? Well, no. What I meant was, for targets and stops. But someone has to enter those in, right? So, like, let's say you had an institutional account somewhere and you had to go through a dealer. Some institutions just have their own rules, like they will not enter the trade unless you have a stop. Because they're like, "Hey, UBS, throw down $1 billion for me," and you walk away, and you lose 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, right? And they don't like it, right? I heard of a margin call a couple of weeks ago. The guy lost 220 something million dollars in a week. What a bonehead! What a loser! What an idiot! A monkey brain. A loser would do that. Amazing, huh? What a loser. All right. Can imagine that, huh? Just man, just have to be. I mean, wow, monkey head. Yeah. Oh well. Like any. Nobody loses that much money if it's their own money, huh? Is that the problem? It's always some scumbag. Hey, honey, how was work today? Oh well, I lost 220 million, but bloop, 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 bloop. At least the champagne's still good, right? No problem. Let's go out, honey. Let's go party. Not a problem. That's the problem, right? That's the problem, that it's not a problem. But whatever. Water off the duck's back. Like I'm so much of a better trader, right? It'd take me a whole month to lose 220 million. Hang on. This is important. Hang on. So, anyways, I'm working on some pretty fantastically amazing, awesome deals. So I'm a little distracted. All right. So back to the world. You buy at support, you sell at resistance, and if everything goes horribly wrong, you probably won't be hurt much. Probably won't lose money. Probably break even because again, if it is good support or resistance, so like looking into here, if you bought here you probably didn't lose money, even though it's down, right? If you sold here, you probably didn't lose money. If you sold here, you probably didn't lose money. If you bought here, you probably didn't lose money. If you sold here, right? Now, could you have possibly bought in this near this gray zone? Impossible, right? Now, maybe you had this set up like this, maybe, and you went for a long, but let's say you even bought a fib of this because you were a bull and you thought it would go up. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. So let's go through a bad trade. So you bought this retracement where? Well, not the 382, not the 618, right? I mean, maybe you got sucked into that. It's plausible. Let me try to zoom in. And yeah, maybe you got sucked into that. But look, it's 45 minutes. Do you think you would have been able to get your stop to break even in the 45 minutes if you're trading a 1-minute chart? Probably, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you probably didn't lose money. Well, what if you try again on the 786? 786 isn't very bullish, is it? But you tried it, midpoint cycle level. So you got here, look, it went up for a half an hour. You traded the 1-minute chart. Is it plausible you protected yourself if you went long here? Yeah. And then what? Did you go long here after the lower low? Impossible. Okay? You know what I mean? Like, that's impossible. There's no way. There's no way in the world you could have done that. It's implausible. Right? So remember, I'm looking at a 15-minute chart, but we were talking about a 1-minute chart. There's just no way. I mean, I'm telling you to look at your bigger charts, right? There's just no way. So maybe I can look at it a little more closely on a 5-minute chart, right? But when you get a lower low, there's just no way you can buy it, right? By definition, right? Impossible. So you tried here, broke even, tried here, broke even, and then you're out, right? And your next long opportunity is the double bottom, right? So now maybe you're building something up at the daily support pivot, weekly M1 pivot, psychological level of 8100, right? You see what I mean? That's plausible to me, isn't it? Implausible. Implausible. Break even, but you made money here, and you made money here. So what's the big, why all the tears, right? I was a bull, right? I was a bull. Yesterday I bought it here and made money. 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 Today I bought it here and broke even. Today I bought it here and broke even. And then it collapsed and I was out. And now I'm buying it again off the double bottom off of the cluster of support and the psychological level. You know what? At the very least, you'll break even. Right? And all you were doing is sticking to your guns as a bull. And you're probably wrong, is my point. You're probably wrong. And you're going to probably do better than many amateur traders are doing now, trying to be right. I'm trying to tell you that even if you're wrong, if you trade properly, you'll probably do okay. And when you get it right, the market's going to pay you, right? You understand? That's why I keep saying it's not you. If you make a decision, right? That's the other message. Make a decision and trade the decision. So when you're wrong, you probably make money. Well, what happens if you're right? What if this thing suddenly just turns bullish and all that yen strength disappears and there's one last hurrah and this thing goes from 81 to 90 in the between now and the end of the year? What happens to you? You just make more money. But you're still doing the exact same thing, buying at support. Why? Because you made a decision. You're long Kiwi or you're short yen or whatever. I don't know. You flipped a coin. The wind was blowing south today. I'm bearish on yen. I mean, I don't know. I don't even care. It could be the alignment of the stars. It could be migration patterns of elephants. I don't care. You made a decision. Woo! Right? The tea leaves. I'm a bear today. Why? The bear. You see those tea leaves? Oy vey. Right? So you made a decision. And if you're wrong, you'll probably do okay. And when you get it right, when you get the direction right, and the market giveth, your cup runneth over. Not because you're a genius, you just didn't screw it up as bad as normal. You got the direction right. That's all you're doing. Because you know how to trade technically. What do? I buy its support in an uptrend. That's your job description. What's his job? He sells at resistance in a downtrend. Huh. How you guys do? Right? Yeah, it's good. When it's a downtrend, I kill it. When it's an uptrend, I don't do so well. Oh, thank you, Bear. What do? I'm a bull. You know, when the market goes up, I do a lot better than when it goes down. Oh, right? I mean, it sounds stupid easy, right? Doesn't it? Right? So then, why are you complicating it? Right? No, but you're right. We as human beings, we make it complicated. Okay? Right? So what I'm trying to say is you need to melt it down to the absolute basics. And by basics, I mean the essence. Not the DNA, the RNA. Right? I heard at Harvard they're building a radio so small that some of the parts in the radio are 2 atoms wide. That's a small radio. Um, just the basicness of this. If you were to explain the market to someone that's never even seen a chart or heard of a stock market of ups and downs, you just have to say when it goes up, right? Well, I mean, just how about this? Even just what does even a 5-year-old know? Buy low, sell high. What are you doing now? I'm selling low. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nobody sells low. Did you just sell it at this daily support one, psychological of 8100, weekly M1? Did you just sell it here? No. That is absolutely totally impossible, right? It just cannot happen. And how should you behave if you're a bear here, looking at a double bottom occurring at a cluster of support? Should you make a decision? Should you be as aggressive as you were earlier in the day? If you were a bear here, and a bear here, and a bear here, and a bear here, and a bear here, should you be cautious now? Why? You sold it here, made money, sold it here, made money, you sold it here and made money, 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 sold it here and made money. Why not sell it now? Right? So then you guys know this. Then what's right? Not too complicated. But now somebody is going to do this, right? Notice how the 618 is at 8150? Okay. Okay. Yeah, green alert. So I don't know. I would boil it down. Stop chasing price, right? And does anyone remember my advice on how to create a fundamental bias if you don't know anything about fundamentals? Flip a coin. Yeah. But you don't flip a coin every day because that's not a trend, right? So can you be a bull here? Yes. Give me one good reason why you could be a bull here. Even though I got this drawn down, don't worry about that. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Because I don't know if it's going to go up or down. I really don't. So you tell me why we should be a bull here. Can, just give me. You don't have to convince me. Just give me a solid reason that I can understand. Okay, pivot profit zone. So you're assuming that bears are going to wimp out, and it goes up from here. All right. Okay. Fine. Okay. Double bottom at support. Daily 21 is the one I'm going for. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I got to zoom in. You probably can't see it, right? Let me get rid of my piv. Such a pivot. Which ought to work that way, and he's a pivot. Let's change this template just so it's easier to see. Scan. Okay. Okay. So it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day, but whatever. You need to eyeball this if you're a bull. Now you can see we're being retarded, depressed, if you will, by the daily 5. Okay, isn't that funny? Today's short was just simply selling off the 5 EMA. Why complicated, right? Remember this? The 1 minute chart. We got to go back now. Remember this? I have to put a big X because I'm going to go back to the daily. Okay, ready? Wait for it. Gotta zoom in. Look. Yeah. Here's how shocking it was if you were a bear. You could have simply sold at the daily 5 EMA with a 5A cross down. Huh. Very complicated stuff. Right? And well, how come we haven't dropped like a ton of bricks? Well, someone keeps buying it at the 21. Support and resistance, right? And what was the message yesterday? That's what you need to trade a 1 minute chart. And if you don't have that information, you can't trade a 1 minute chart because you're clueless. And it is noise. If you don't know what you're doing, it must be chaos. What does chaos feel like? Let me tell you about heartache and the loss of God, wandering in hopeless night. Out here, there are no stars. Huh? The heartache and the loss of God. That's where you just drop to your hands and knees. You're like, I've blown up my trading account. I can't do it. I just can't do it every time. It just won't go. Every time I buy, it falls. And every time I sell, it rises. And it's just, it's chaos. I give up. It's impossible. Yeah, that's right. You can't randomly be successful. It's true. You have to have consistency. You can't just randomly make this happen. Right? It's about strategy and discipline to trade your analysis and trade your bias, right? So that's what it's about. Yeah, so that is you selling, right? Right there. The daily 5 EMA. Look at that. So you know what? By the end of today, this 21 EMA will be touching that X. Okay? You think that's random? Is anyone having an aha moment? Anybody going, holy schnicker schnocker? Well, maybe not those words, but yeah, right? Motivation for the new year, right? Like, oh my gourd. I need, yeah. All right, so you want to know what to do tomorrow, right? That's what you're asking, right? Well, if you're a bull, you need to be watching for the double bottom play. Are you on it? We already told you this is a reversal zone, psychological level, right? I think daily pivot, daily support pivot, weekly support pivot, psychological level. If you're a bull, in my humble opinion, you already bought it. I mean, this is already a done deal. And your worst case scenario is breaking even. Okay? You see what I mean? I mean, I already explained it, right? I mean, oh, Wayne, only support pivots on 2 time frames? That's not enough for me. Why is it not enough, right? It's because you're not a bull. I mean, you're trying to make decisions. That you're waiting for the charts to make decisions. You're like, no, 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 no. Right? And that's the whole message of yesterday and probably the day before. If you're a bull, you buy at support. Where's support? This, what we're looking at here, this whole bottom, is the weekly support pivot. That's the weekly M1, right? Remember the previous chart before I changed the template? That is the weekly support. That is the projected low for the week. That is the support. It is. That is it. So what do you do if you're a bull? Buy at support? Well, that is the support, right? And then higher high. Hey, guess why I made this big move here? Oh, well, because that's support. And then a higher high, higher low. Did you buy it here on the 618, 123? Boom, you bought it there. Why did it go up? Because it's support. Right. And then here, oh, it collapsed. Why did it collapse? Well, because it's a downtrend. And you've been buying at support as a bull, which might be right on the long term, but on the short term, you're buying in a down move. All right, well, you still money here and here and here. And do you buy lower lows? You don't buy lower lows, but do you buy double bottoms at daily and weekly support with the psych? Yeah, of course you do. Why? It's support. You're in a bull. Right? It's that easy, right? So what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. What did you just do in the last half an hour or so, right? Like you should have been all night going, well, I hope we get down to 81.00. It's my only support on this. And it's the only thing I'm allowed to do based on my, rules of engagement. Somewhere around here, I should probably look to buy. So when you get down there, that's when you drop into your 1 minute, right? And this is where you shock people with your ability to trade the 1 minute with precision. You're like, yeah, I'm going to take this. Dang, look at that guy. He's scalping. He's up 25 pips already. It's amazing. Right? You see what I mean? So it shouldn't be complicated if you've made a decision on your bias. You can pick any yen pair if you want, for example, and all you have to decide, this is it. Only thing you need to decide is whether you want to buy yen pairs or sell yen pairs. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay? In this case, if you're still a bull, which is fine, on the long-term charts, it says it still can go up. On the short term, and they're coming down. So now you have that problem of buying at support in a downtrend, at least short-term downtrend, and that has additional risk associated with it, right? but it's not hard to understand. It's not as good as buying at support in an uptrend on all time frames. But eventually, if it's going to go back up, then these short-term charts will roll over. Why would they not roll over at a weekly pivot? They probably would. If they roll over and we go back long on all these yen pairs, it would probably happen on this PB yen at 81.00. Why? Because that's the pivot profit zone for bears. That has a higher probability of going up than at any other price that I see on this view. There's no other price on this view that would suggest that the whole market's going to go bullish again. So, I mean, right? In that case, it's not that complicated. It's either support or not support, right? Sorry? All right, so that's it, right? Do you want to be a bull on the CAD? You would have to be bullish on oil, and that's fine if you are, because you could cite things. I might disagree, but it doesn't matter what I think, right? If you believe oil is going to go up because of the OPEC deal, right, or at least stabilize because of the OPEC deal, and you're telling all your investors, yeah, I've looked at the OPEC deal. I think it's good. I think it's going to stick. I think oil prices are going to stabilize above 50, probably even closer to 60. And that's going to be good. And there's some other things coming online, with the U.S. Economy improving, blah, 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 blah. Everything's good according to you. Then you're in the business of buying at support on CAD yen. Am I right? Right? I mean, that's it. Now, I think you're wrong, but it doesn't matter what I think. So help me do this. This is a 15-minute chart. Is it bullish right now? Yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't important, right? Hang on. Right? So anyways, this is not an uptrend. But it doesn't mean you can't buy it. It just means there's more risk associated with you buying it. Right? So what do, right? Do, do, do. Okay? So where is the support? Okay? It's a little tricky when we're below this, right? So where are you going to feel comfortable? Well, you got the 618. Okay? That's buying something kind of scary, isn't it? Like a one touch, I find them scary. Okay? Okay? Ooh, ooh, mousey, mousey, mouse. So really what we're looking at is 87 and then something like maybe if we can combine these two, the 618 midpoint psych as a zone. And then when we're in here, like maybe even now, you start setting it up on the 1 minute, right? So maybe down into the midpoint psych and then up, right? I mean, all of this, I mean, it just, now you need to play the game. You see what I mean? Now you play the game. Where is your support? What kind of setup do you want? But you know, it's kind of like in here, you'll probably do it. And if not there, it's got to drop another 50 pips without you, which is good because you do something at the New York Open or you do something at the London Close. It's easy. Or if oil falls, you just sit here watching this drop through all your support lines and you never get an opportunity to go. Sorry. Um, okay. So now you got your job. It's a high risk bounce. Maybe you catch something in here where you're going to play it, close to your chest because you feel like there's a pretty high probability of it dropping down to a double bottom. But a double bottom at 87 is actually a reversal pattern, right? So I'd feel more comfortable down here, but you got to give it a shot here for the fib, right? So buying it at a 618 Fibonacci retracement on a, down here to, you get the midpoint psych level at 8750 with the daily support pivot. So I don't know, it's all good. So this might be a setup or it might go a little lower and you get an inverse head and shoulders, right? But they're all 5-minute setups, right? 5-minute, 1-minute setups, but right in your zone. And then you say to yourself, well, if not at 8750, at 87. That's it. Oh, but Wayne, why not just sell it down into whatever? If that worked, you'd be doing it successfully, right? Right? Sorry, I'm dealing with lots of things. Oh, lots of things. But you're important to me too. So I am here for you. Am I getting Have I drilled too much on the message? So you might have been doing very, very well, and it's not you. So you need to not get overconfident. You need to see the charts with reality. If the trend is over, you need to book your profit or at least stop buying. If you've been losing money during these last 7 or 8 weeks, then we need to figure out what's going on and at least boil it up to something very simple like make a decision on being a bull or a bear for the next 3 months and only trade in the direction of that bias by saying if you're a bull on a particular pair and you're going to be a bull for the next 100 days, then you can only buy at support. And if you're buying at support in a downtrend, it's much higher risk. But if you're buying at support in an uptrend, you'll probably make money. And if that's not working for you, you just can't figure out support and resistance, right? And you start simplifying and simplifying and simplifying and simplifying. No, I predicted this move months ago, Michael. It has nothing to do with COT because it's all like COT hasn't even measured this yet. It's already coming down. Okay. Okay. Any last questions? As you can tell, I'm like ridiculously busy, and we're talking big, big, big stuff. So, um, how can I help? We got 7 minutes that I can continue to invest today. Talk to Uncle Wayne. Euro yen? Sure. You are not alone. Okay. Okay. What is it that you? What's your question? Let's get up here. Did you sell it the monthly R1? La, 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 la. Da-da-da, 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 do you think on our way down to $1.20? What do you mean bounce? So we got angle and separation over here between the 2155, 45-degree angle, nice separation, diminishing, diminishing, flattening, flattening, diminishing, diminishing, flattening, diminishing, flattening, flattening, sideways, 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 ready to cross. Draw your MACD. MACD is not bullish at all. That's the name of my island. Not bullish at all. East, I mean, it's all the same thing. I mean, to me, it's all the same thing. Japanese yen, right? So you already know. I mean, again, I told you weeks in advance, and then we had the big thing on Friday. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's all going to collapse. It's coming. Right? When we're talking about it in June and July and August and September, that right before the end of the year and right after the end of the year, this all is going to come tumbling down, right? So, yeah, if you think this is it, right? Right? If you think this is happening, then you get involved. You just change your bias. Now you're simply selling at resistance, right? Look, watch this. You ready? Wait for it. Oh, right. So it's just, to me, it's all the same. To me, it's just buying yen. And if you happen to be a bear on the pound, good. Sell pound yen. If you happen to be a bear on the euro, good. Sell euro yen. It's just like, yeah. So, anyways, I gotta go. This is going crazy here. Yeah. So, it's Wednesday, so be careful with the CAD. Remember, with oil inventories and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I will be here tomorrow. I hope to see you there. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Take care of yourself. You hear? Thank you for your time. I appreciate your loyalty. I really do. You're important to me.